Hey everybody, this is Mark with Precision Crystal. Today we're going to go through the process of creating a mock-up to resemble 3D laser engraved crystal. We're going to use this picture here as the image that's going to go in, and we're going to use a picture of crystal as well. I'll see if I can get that up on the screen here. Here it is. We're going to use our crystal circle. It's a popular piece. So the first thing we're going to do, we're in Photoshop right now, so the first thing we're going to do is we'll go ahead and size this. This is a really big photo. I think it came from iStock. So it's 5,500 pixels wide. That's a little bit too big. So let's take it down to somewhere around 1,000 pixels. So image size, 1,000. Maintain the aspect ratio. Shrink it down a little bit. And there we go. And let's crop it too, since there's a lot of extra space off to the right there. So go ahead and crop, and let's see. Crop it right about there. And then let's blow it up so we can work with it a little bit. And let's take out the background. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to the object selection tool in Photoshop and just kind of select around the picture of this woman and let Photoshop find the object, which it's pretty good at doing. Let's see here. It's thinking. It's thinking. And there we go. So as you can see, there's an outline around her hair, and her hair with a lot of curls, which was probably pretty difficult for Photoshop to trace around. We're going to go ahead and we're going to select the inverse. So that selects everything but the woman. And then we're going to hit the delete key and take the background to black. Boom, done. And we'll Control D. And look what Photoshop has done. Let me tell you, that would have been very difficult to do back in the old days. So at this point, the next step is going to be converting it to a grayscale. We have to do this to go through the rest of the process. So we're going to go ahead and discard the color information, because in 3D laser engraving, the laser plots a point. It either plots a point or it doesn't plot a point. If it doesn't plot a point, the glass remains clear. If it plots a point, the point looks like it's white, because it really is just a small crack in the glass. So the next step is we're going to go ahead and we're going to turn it into a bitmap. Now a bitmap, a black and white bitmap, is, again, it's either black or it's white. It's one or the other, just like laser engraving is with clear or engraved. So we're going to go to bitmap and bring this up. We want to do this at 300 dots per inch and with the diffusion dither. There are other choices here, but we really want the diffusion dither. And when this is done, look at that. It kind of converts it into the look you're going to probably get when you get the laser engraved piece. Because again, you have black, and if you look at this, black, if you imagine that as clear glass, that's what you're going to get. And the white is going to be what's engraved. So in order to do the rest of the process, we've got to convert it now back to grayscale. And size ratio of 1. Boom, okay, we've done that now. And now what we have is a black and white grayscale image, and we've got to convert that to a different kind of layer to do the next step. So we're going to come over here, right click on background and go layer from background. And now what we can do is right click on this and go up here to blending options. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the black and kind of turn it into, we're going to get rid of the black. So we're going to come down here to blend if, go to this layer, grab the black, move it all the way to the right, and click OK. Now, I don't know if you can see this or not, but what you have there is a transparent background with just white dots, which is essentially what you're going to get when you do the laser engraved piece. Now we're going to have to save this as a PNG. We're going to have to save it in a format that supports transparency. So we'll just do quick export as a PNG. And And we'll go, let's just throw this on the desktop and save it. All right, now let's go over here to the crystal and let's go ahead and open the PNG we just saved. And let's see here, it was on the desktop. We're looking for, there it is right there. Okay, and we're gonna Control A, copy it all, copy C, go back here and paste. And let's see what happens. And there it is. You see how it is. Now, it's a little small for this picture, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to back out. I'm going to take that layer out again and resize the background to where it makes a little bit more sense, where the size ratios are right. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of her picture. And we'll come down here and go to image size. I forgot to do this earlier. We'll say, let's say this is, let's say it's 2,000 pixels. You're going to have to experiment with this a little bit. Okay, so now I can paste again. And there she is. So, and we can move it around. And you can adjust the brightness of the image. You can do that with opacity over here. So let's move that. Let's say, oh, we don't think that, well, that's a little bit too much. You know, maybe 75%, something like that. Because you can see through the glass still when you 3D laser engrave. There's about 87. That looks pretty realistic. Move it down just a hair if you want to be as realistic as possible. You can take this layer and you can make the layer a little bit smaller too. It looks like the corners of the image are out to the edge. So, and the way you do this is to come up to the edit menu and go down to a transform. You can click on scale and then just grab the handles and make it a little bit smaller there. Another thing you can do is you can crop around it in a circular crop. Let's see what that looks like. If I come up here and I grab the elliptical marquee and grab this, hold the shift key down so that I get a perfect circle. We'll move that over like this. We'll go in there and say feather. And let's feather that to, I don't know, let's say 7 pixels. And then we'll come in here and select inverse. And delete the inverse. And as you can see, once we deselect, you can see that the shoulders have been rounded off a little bit. So you can move this around and you can put text under it, give it the same treatment you gave with the photo. We'll blow this up a little bit. And that's pretty much it right there. Essentially what you're doing is taking a color image, taking the color out of it, converting it to a black and white bitmap at 300 dots per inch, converting the black pixels to transparency, saving the file with a transparency supporting mode, importing that file on top of the piece of crystal you want to use, and now we can export this photo as a whatever you want it, PSD, JPEG, etc., etc. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching.